up, guys? Welcome back to Flipping the Script Fishing. Now today I want to talk to you about frog. I have done a couple videos on frog, and I've done one called Pimp My Frog, which shows you how to modify your frogs to get more bites and make just a little bit different presentation. I've also done a video, I did one with Billy Wheat, on how to find frogs, how to find bass with a frog, the best places to search, and the mats that are going to be most productive. Okay, so I have covered a lot in the past, and those videos are great. So I highly suggest checking those out and getting some pointers off of those as well. But today I want to cover what I'm looking for out there. Let's go over some of the necessary equipment. The equipment I actually use, and first let's go with the rod and reel combination. Okay. Now this is a rod I got recently. Now for a while I fished with a Carrot Sticks extra heavy 7-foot, and it did pretty well. However, I've fallen in love with this rod. This is a 6-gill Anora. 6-gill Anora, and it is a fantastic rod for frogging. I've been very impressed with it. It's done me very well. It is a 7.5 heavy power rod with a very strong backbone. You know, obviously I like the green color. It, you know, just lets you know it's that frog rod when I have it laying on the deck of my boat. Now I paired it up with a Daiwa Fuego. That's an 8-to-1 gear ratio. I like that faster gear ratio when I'm fishing with frogs, so I can get that cast out there and I can retrieve that frog real fast and make another cast. But paired with this Anora, I have the strength. I use the strength of that rod to really pull that fish through that grass, especially if it's really heavy vegetation. We got some really good frogging action in really heavy vegetation recently, and you had to have a strong rod and some strong line in order to get those fish in. Which brings me to my next point, is the line. Okay, I like 65-pound Power Pro Slick 8. Now it's a strong, thinner diameter line, so it cuts through that grass really well. Has really good strength. I would definitely suggest, if you're fishing heavy vegetation, 65-pound braided line or better. My go-to rod and reel combo, and with the line, is this 6-gill Anora, my Daiwa Fuego, and a 65-pound better braid, in this case Power Pro Slick 8. Okay, when I'm out on the water, the type of structure I'm looking for obviously is any kind of vegetation. Now you can use a frog in open water around cover, like laydowns, overhanging trees, those types of things. You can still catch them on that, especially in early spring. They'll hit a frog. You know, you throw that thing up under overhanging limbs and those types of things, and you can catch them on a frog in more open water. However, as the year goes on, the frogging seems to get better. So and it seems to hit a pinnacle sometime especially in our area in the south. It really hits a pinnacle in like I'd say October and even November. You hit those patches of grass, that frog bite can be spectacular. Another great time for frogging is post spawn, or during that shad spawn. Now you'll have a lot more sparse grass, and I always reach for that white popping frog, or some kind of white color thrown in that grass or around that grass, and one that you can kind of walk back and forth, but you can work pretty quick. You can get a lot of good strikes that way. And sometimes that can be the most consistent frogging bite. For us, usually happens sometime in May, and that will persist a lot of times up and through June. While that vegetation is still kind of sparse, early summer, late spring through mid to even late summer, I do better with brim type colors or sunfish type colors. Now, during that time, typically I'm going to reach for something like this. Okay, this is a snag proof, one of their newer frogs that they come out with. This one does really well. This one skips really well. However, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't do very well on heavy cover, because one thing, if you throw it, since the body's so wide, if it lands on the back, it's not going to right itself. But you can skip this thing up under docks. You can skip it under overhanging limbs, and it does really well through a little bit more sparse vegetation. And early summer, even into midsummer, into late summer, you have plenty of that sparse vegetation around. But you'll notice the brim color, excuse me, the brim pattern. You know, this is basically what the fish is seeing. They might see that side a little bit, but you know, it has the coloration of a brim, especially that orange and that little bit of brown. Okay. And then I'll also reach for something like this, which is more, you know, just a brown color. This will get bites. Again, in a little bit more sparse vegetation. A lot of times you have flooded grass and that kind of stuff on the side of the lake or the cove, and this does well around this kind of color. The other color I like to reach for is more of a black, just a black. I think the silhouette, you know, they just, you know, you also have, and you'll notice if you're fishing some of the heavier cover, you'll have brim feeding on the bottom, and when they come up out of that, whether they're being chased by a bass or whatever, a lot of times they're a darker color. So I like to throw that dark color frog, whether it's a popping frog. The Booyah Pad Crasher is a really good frog. I've gotten a lot of bites on it, but that black, I think, seems to do a little bit better in the middle of summer, especially on those really sunny days, because all they're seeing anyway is a silhouette.
Well, that frog barely hit the grass on that cast. Every time I drain off one little stick, it's on another one. Hard to catch them that way.
I wonder if that was just one fish that was just really swimming around hard over there, you know?
Yeah, he just might have been. There we go.
What's this one fish?
Heck yeah.
Look at that. This is just a cheapo what is it? H2O frog. I added a bunch of stuff too. Look at that. That's quality fish right there. They're so dark.
It's like they look like Florida fish.
Yeah. I love it. As the summer wears on and it starts going into early fall, I like to reach more for those shad patterns again. The shad start schooling up real well, and you'll notice big schools of shad around that hydrilla, and that's when I like to throw a bait I can cover a little bit more water with, like these teckle frogs, the teckle toads. Okay, you may throw more of these ribbits on a buzz bait or something like that. That's a good search tool. So I can search a lot of water with these, and they'll get really good blow ups. These will do well all the way through November. The good thing about these is you can kind of stop them and fish them like a regular frog as well. But they don't do good in really heavy cover. You want this around more sparse vegetation, and you want to use it on the edge of the grass mats. I'll also reach for those popping frogs again, the white ones, and the little small frogs. And these ones I use, you know, on the edge of the grass, and you know, not too far in. You're not going real deep, but if you do see a fish blow up in the middle of the grass, you know, this is the one you want to throw. You know, these ones here. That Spro frog, that sexy shad color. Basically, you're going for white. We did notice on Lake Pinchot, where a lot of the footage for this video comes from, that white with red front definitely made a difference. Except that it was a popping frog that had the white belly and then the red, like right here on the chin. It seemed to make the difference in that sparser grass. Now on the grass that was, or the algae that was so thick, I don't think it mattered. I think it was just the motion that the fish was reacting to. Now when you get to some really thick grass, or where you have to make really long casts, I suggest, looking at the Pimpin' My Frog stuff, and learn how to make those, add those rattles on, and also adding rattles and weights to the body. So now this frog in open water, it will sink almost like a rock. So, but what it does is it sits right on top of that grass really well, pushes down, makes a little bit more indentation, makes sound and everything, so it calls those fish to it. Here I had the same thing. I didn't add any weight to this, but I added some rattles to the legs, and they do really well when you need to make your frog stand out to get more attention. When you need your frog to get more attention, there's a lot going on. You may want to consider something with rattles. Another good thing when a lot of people are throwing frogs is to throw something crazy. Okay, this poison frog, it's a little bit bigger profile, and it's just the color doesn't mimic anything, but it's something that is different and will get you attention. So you may get less bites, but you'll get good bites. So find that crazy looking frog and throw it. Got a couple here, just oddball colors, but something different. And when everybody's throwing a frog, you have to make it stand out. If they've seen 1,000 frogs go by, you need to throw something that's different. The retrieves for these frogs, I like to use a walk the dog retrieve when the vegetation is sparse or when you're in open water. However, when you're fishing real thick stuff, then I just use a quick pull motion. You don't want to jerk it too much because sometimes the frogs turn and they'll get hung up on their own hooks. But just to cover water, you're jerking that frog and just a quick covering water motion. And sometimes you just have to cover water. A lot of times those fish will expose themselves, and when that happens, then you can slow down. In fact, I'll even stop my frog entirely and just shake it and let it vibrate on the surface and send out little ripples. And sometimes those fish will come back and get that frog. However, when you throw in there and you get a blow up, what you don't want to do is draw that fish out of that mat too far. You can go a couple feet, but then I wouldn't suggest taking it the frog much further. If you think you can get another bite, reel up real quick, make another cast to that same area, and kind of skirt around the hole that you were in, just to a lot of times that will get that bite. If that does not work, let the spot rest for a minute. Don't draw that fish out. Let it rest for a minute, come back and make a cast there again. A lot of times those fish will stay in one area, especially when that grass is real thick. As the grass gets more and more sparse, those fish are more roaming. So I don't think that matters as much. They'll roam around, and especially when you have a really good canopy and it's really open underneath it, those fish are roaming. So I don't think you have to worry about that. They're not going to be stationary in one area. However, when the grass is thicker and you got some real thick stuff like we did here up in Pinchot, those fish, I'm willing to bet, kind of stay in one area and they're just waiting for something to come by.
Just say it, man. Just say it. You got a heck of a time to figure it out. You spinning? Or you pulling? I'm pulling. I haven't had a bite way back in there. I just shoot that fish all the way. I gotta show the camera that. Hold on. So there's the fish you got. Luckily, it was a bit smaller on the smaller side. You would probably wouldn't have got that out of there. But look at this. I want you to see something. All right, look at that trail he left. Look at this stuff. Look how thick that is. And he pulled it all the way. He was just saying, I haven't gotten a bite way back in there. Oh, this is just too much fun, guys. Too much fun.
In those cases, give it a couple casts, give it a rest. Come back in 10-15 minutes, make a cast, and a lot of times that bass won't miss it again. Frogging is a very exciting way to catch fish. It can be long periods of slow action followed by quick periods of flurries, and it's just a lot of fun. Once you catch a couple on a frog, you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Well, I hope some of these tips help you. Pick up that frog. It is definitely the frogging season is really coming into full swing and should be good all the way through, even sometimes into December in those real southern areas. So don't be afraid to pick up that frog. If you see grass, if there's some, even in colder months, if you see some matted grass or a grass patch, don't be afraid to throw that frog. You'd be surprised, even those cold months. So I hope these tips help you. Let me see those pictures. And if you like this kind of content, look, guys, please like, subscribe, make a comment down below. Let me know your favorite frog to throw. And that really helps me out, gets these, helps that fool that algorithm to get this as much promotion of my videos as possible. So if you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. So hope you liked it, and until next time, guys, tight lines.
There we go.
He surprised me a little.
A popper fell again. There's another blow up over there. The grass is sparse enough that popper frog might be the deal now. That's exciting. That's a good hit.
That's a friend.
Killing it on that frog.
Still see the white bubble.
Put me in the water. I want you to swim. Yeah, I thought he was a lot bigger than that, but that's quality fish. Woo! It is a workout to get those things in, isn't it? Alright, let me show you. I finally made him give me one of those frogs. And I got one. And it's just, I mean, it's just, dang it, I got a good hook in it, that's for sure. See, that one's popping. Sexy shad one. Decent fish. Keeper for sure. That's the second time he hit. I'm pretty sure it's the same one because he came up over top of that thing. It was cool. I hope we got it on camera. I don't think we did, but I hope I did. Whew. And this stuff, it is a workout getting these things in. I'm out of breath. All right. Whew. I hope you got that hit because he can clear out the water. Look at this. Hammering it. Way back there. That's crazy. Got him. You gotta see this guy. This is like carpet. This is like carpet over here. he got one out of there. I mean, it's literally like 2-inch thick algae, and they're blowing up. But half the time they can't get through it to get the frog. But he got that one.
It's too much fun today. Double. Oh, mine came off.
Oh, look at that. Oh. Whew. That is a workout. Oh. Oh.
That's a good one there.
Yep. Check that out. I'll take that. That's a good 3.5 maybe.
Yeah.
All right. We had to double up for a second there. Let's get release of this one. Just cause we ain't got a release all day and it deserves it.